My name is Georgina Sorrentino. I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Illinois in Chicago, and my poster is Assessing Knowledge Acquisition from a Disaster Risk Reduction Training Program delivered in St. Kitts and Nevis in the Caribbean. The Caribbean islands of St. Kitts and Nevis are vulnerable to natural disasters due to their size, location, and relative geographic isolation. Disaster risk reduction is a set of tools and strategies that seeks to increase community preparedness by utilizing local knowledge of hazards, risks, vulnerabilities, and assets that are unique to that particular community. DRR trainings were delivered on St. Kitts and Nevis in June and July of 2019, and we think that an analysis of trainee demographics can help identify target populations for future trainings, both in St. Kitts and Nevis and across the Caribbean. The purpose of this study is to identify different demographic characteristics associated with trainee knowledge acquisition and to determine the overall acceptability and likability of our DRR training program among our participants. Knowledge acquisition was assessed using pre- and post-training tests that were analyzed using a paired t-test, and the different demographic variables associated with knowledge acquisition was examined using a linear analysis. The acceptability and likability of our training program was measured using a final evaluation questionnaire and Likert scale questions. Our results show significant knowledge acquisition from the pre to post test on both island nations, and it shows that post-training test score improvement varied by age group on both islands and also between the islands as well. Our linear analysis shows that on St. Kitts, knowledge acquisition was not associated with having previous first responder training, but that knowledge acquisition was associated with having a high school degree or identifying as a female gender. On Nevis, knowledge acquisition was associated with having previous first responder training, having a university degree, and being female gender as well. Our final evaluation scale shows that participants on both islands agreed that the activities provided them with skills and tools that are useful and that the activities were enjoyable. They also show that the majority of participants on both islands said they would feel comfortable sharing the week's activities with others in their community. Our post-test analysis shows significant knowledge acquisition on both islands, and although different age groups on St. Kitts and Nevis showed the most post-test score improvement, the 40 to 49 age group on St. Kitts and the 50-plus age group on Nevis, according to our linear analysis, age is not significantly associated with knowledge acquisition and the ability to learn from our training. On both island nations, female gender and having a high school education or higher are associated with knowledge acquisition, and previous first responder training is associated with knowledge acquisition on Nevis only. And something we found interesting was even though more of the trainees on St. Kitts have university degrees and previous first responder training, only about 78% said they would feel comfortable sharing the training activities with their community compared to 100% of our participants on Nevis. So for some next steps for this research, the retention of training knowledge and degree of community engagement post-training were assessed with a follow-up survey that was delivered in January 2020. And my future goal for this project and for this research is to compare the DRR training delivered on St. Kitts and Nevis to a similar training program that was delivered in Haiti in 2013 and 14, and see if this DRR training program can be adaptable to different island nations across the Caribbean and increase disaster preparedness and disaster response strategies kind of throughout that region. I would like to thank all of the National Disaster Agency staff who helped us host our trainings, and of course thank all of our study participants on St. Kitts and Nevis.